Hello one and all, and welcome to Behind the Glass. I'm your host, Sam, from the YouTube channel Seen Through Glass.
And I'm Tony from Gravelwood Car Sales.
Yes, you are. Each week we get together, we talk about cars, motorsport, F1, what else? Cars? We talk about cars. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can watch us on youtube.com/Behind the Glass. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. And Tony, if people want to support this podcast, what should they do?
Watch it.
No. But also head to Patreon. You can support us on patreon.com/Behind the Glass. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Welcome to our final episode before our summer break
Of the year.
Well, and no, not the year. That would be extreme. I think people would have a panic attack.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that sounds like the overinflated ego. Is that what I'm trying to say?
We might not be able to get you out that door.
No, I was going to say potentially the final episode of season 5.
Yeah, because I know we've had this conversation before, but you do just make it up, mate.
I do make it up, but I like starting a new season because I've said this at the start of the year. I like a fresh start. I look for an excuse to, rip out a new page in the book. I'm all over the place with my expressions and saying.
What about Christmas? You like Christmas opening presents?
I love Christmas. I love it. That's not the conversation we're trying to have.
Right.
I say I like a fresh start. I like an excuse to go starting all over again.
Right.
So creating a new season on this podcast is just that. I'm like, it's turning a leaf. It gives me an excuse to do things. But I do think saying season 6 seems a bit extreme, doesn't it? I mean, we have been doing this a while, mate.
Well, constantly for 2 years every week, but I think we're in like year 4 now. Easily year 4.
This is I think we're nearly episode 50 of season 5.
Oh, right. Oh, we do need to go to season 6.
I think maybe we need to go to season 6.
We have more episodes and seasons than Friends.
Honestly, it doesn't really, there's no rhyme or reason to it.
No.
We're going to have to introduce something different for season 6.
Yeah.
Not just a different background.
Like new people.
Maybe,
not me and you.
No, what about a new intro?
We do need a new intro.
Maybe
mate.
that's season 6.
Yeah.
Could be a new
Because I feel we've changed. Because we've probably done that intro a couple of years ago, right?
It was when we moved into the new studio, which was 2021 or end of 2020. I think end of 2020.
Yeah, I think it was a couple of years ago, probably. Yeah. And I feel we've changed a little bit since then.
You have significantly less hair.
Yeah, but only because I cut it off.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can grow it again, mate.
No, but
unlike
are you sure?
Yes.
Because if you look at some of the early podcast clips, mate, you nearly had an afro.
No.
You had thick hair.
Well, I can have thick hair again.
I don't think
just
you
got to grow it.
No, I think it would look different because it's kind of receding in these areas.
It's always, since I was 18, I'll show you a picture of 18, my hair was all, they used to call me McDonald's man.
Why?
Because it's like an M.
Okay, well, you're going to have to wait and stay tuned as to what season 6 is going to hold. We don't quite know, but we're going to do it. There we go. I've declared it. We'll be back
with a new intro
with season 6. Let's
That's the surprise. Yeah. We don't know that bit yet.
Depends. We're going to try. But yes, we will be returning. Let me give you the exact date so you can mark it in your calendars and you won't be disappointed if you're sitting around waiting. We'll be back for season 6. Wait for it. Great that my internet's decided to be slow. Hold on. 20... No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. It will be the 22nd of September.
Lovely.
So basically a month. So we got a month to start season 6. But that's all right. So yeah, 22nd of September, mark it in your diaries. We will be back for season 6.
Yeah, because
we've got separate times off.
Correct.
So I'm away for a couple of weeks, then you're away for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So it's a bit annoying, but it's fine. I think it's good. I think it's good for us to have a bit of a reset.
I think so too.
Creatively, motivationally, all these things. We've spoken about a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, we thought we'd round up season 5 in the only way that we could. With questions from our patrons, because season 5 wouldn't have happened without our patrons. No. I mean, literally would not have happened. Patrons have been amazing over the last 50 odd episodes.
Yeah.
And so, we wanted to let them run riot and ask us any questions they wanted to.
Any?
Literally any. I said, ask us anything.
Oh.
And so I haven't looked at these. This could go horribly wrong. I haven't quality checked any of them.
Ben, get ready.
Yeah, Ben, you might have to chop some of these out.
This will be the hardest episode you've ever edited.
Potentially, or it could just end up being 1.5 minutes long. Just cut out all the questions. Some of them could be really boring as well. We, as much as we love our patrons, we can't proclaim that we don't know how interesting they are because we haven't met them all. But
the whole episode is going to be intro, then finish.
Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Anyway, let's give this a go. We're going to dive straight in. Will Morton has asked.
Hello, Will.
Hi, guys. Would you return to New Zealand, Sam, and would Tony ever visit? So, New Zealand, I think, has finally opened its doors post-COVID lockdown.
Yeah.
And I am desperate to get back, and you are coming with me.
I've never been.
Mate, for driving... Oh my God. One of my favourite places in the world to drive.
Really?
It's empty. No one lives there.
Yeah.
It's a sheep. Sheep and incredible views and great smooth roads.
Yeah.
Especially at the south of the South Island.
Okay.
Wow. And they have good cars there as well. Proper cars.
Well, we have to borrow one.
We
can't take our own ones over there. It's a bit far.
It's very far away.
It's 24 hours.
It's the only problem is it is really far away for us.
Really far.
For us British people. And I think as well, you can't go there from the UK for less than 10 days.
No, you spend 2 days flying.
And you lose a day.
Yeah.
So it's, 3 days.
And you get there upside down. Yeah, because they're right at the top, mate.
No, right at the bottom.
Right at the bottom. Well, whatever way you look at it.
What do you mean, whatever way you look at it?
Well,
you're turning the world upside down. It spins on its axis, it doesn't flip.
Right. So are we going to be upside down, yes or no, when we get there? Whether it's up or down, you're upside down.
Right, but we're not going up to New Zealand, are we?
Right, downside up then.
We're going south.
Right.
New Zealand is south of us.
But you probably could go up and round instead of going down and round.
Oh, what, over the North Pole?
It's 2 3s and a 6, surely.
I've completely lost what we were talking about.
Would we go to New Zealand, yes or no? Yes, we would.
Yes, we would. And hopefully Tony will come to a beautiful place. Lawrence Baldwin, do you think Porsche will follow the new GT3 RS with a GT2 RS and thoughts on it being a hybrid?
No and no.
So why don't you think there's a 992 GT2 RS coming?
Because they're 10-year intervals.
Yes. So I assumed this, and thank you for clarifying, I suppose, Tony, if you are correct. Because usually we see them almost at the...
I will be, because I'm rarely wrong.
I thought you said at some point you're never wrong.
Well, rarely, because I do occasionally, very occasionally, just get the odd thing. It's not wrong, it's just misguided.
So...
I'm not wrong, mate.
We've got to put that on a T-shirt somewhere, because you've just admitted that occasionally you're a little bit misguided. I love that.
It's not wrong, though.
So, yeah, because I think we had 996... 0.2 GT2, 997.2 GT2, 991.2 GT2, i.e. the facelift iterations, and we are still on Gen 1 of the 992 generation.
Correct.
So I would expect a GT2 RS to come when we get the facelift 992 in a whole chunk of time.
Which could well be a hybrid. I don't think it will be, because I think it will be one of the last GT2s full stop in its natural capacity as it is now, and it will just be an absolute rocket ship. It'll smash everything, and that'll be that, and that'll be where the curtains close. Because
electric 911 must be any day now. I know they keep sort of talking about it and not talking about it, but it is ready.
I know that the Dot 2 will probably be hybrid in some capacity, because the Dot 1 is hybrid ready, so the chassis has got room for the hybrid system. So I would assume that they'll put it in the Dot 2. There'll be a hybrid 911.
A hybrid iteration.
Yeah.
I think when this podcast has gone out, so maybe tomorrow, this is time travel in my brain. The 3RS is getting, because I know when the 3RS is getting unveiled. And I think
that you jumped the gun, because I didn't know that. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was tomorrow.
So yes, for us it's, but if you're listening the day this episode's gone live, I think the 3RS is getting unveiled tomorrow. If you're listening to this episode late, it's already been unveiled. Wow, what a thing!
Oh, it'll be what a thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
We've seen so many basically seen the final production.
Yeah, we have, yeah.
Jack Lowe. Hi, Sam. One question from me. Any worries the 360 will gather dust once the GT3 arrives, given the transmission choice? Have a great day. Thanks, Jack. I know where you're coming from. I'm not worried it's going to gather dust, but I think it's fair to say it will gather dust. I mean, a big reason as to why I'm doing this big adventure. Oh, 1 second.
Oh.
Hello?
Oh, we've got delivery, boys. Is that a delivery for you, Sam? Oh, not for Sam. Oh, Isabel. Yeah, well, it is Sam. It's Isabel, apparently. Sam's nickname is Isabel. It's his weekend nickname. Sorry, I've just been entertaining myself.
Did you tell them?
I said Isabel was your
He said, are you Isabel? I was like, I don't think
I
so.
told the audience it's your weekend name.
Well, that was definitely what's called a raw moment behind the glass. You can leave that bit in, Ben. Wow. So what were we talking about? Yes, the 360. No, not. So yeah, the big reason why I'm doing this huge adventure this year with the 360 is that I've got the chance to do it because, next year will probably be a lot about the GT3. Obviously got the F-Type as well. The 360 I'm planning to have as the sort of special occasion car. You know, let's face it. And actually I had this chat with Aldous when I went down there last week. You know, that car is only going to get more and more expensive to run. You know, 50,000 miles now, 20 years old. Yeah, of course.
Oh, I thought it was lovely. I thought it was the best example and it cost you £1,200 a year to run.
No, I think I said $2,000, didn't I?
1,200 quid.
I said 1,200 quid.
Yeah,
that's budget 1,200
That's
quid.
greatly gone up now because that was 6 months ago and you spent a ton of money on it since.
I have spent a ton of money.
You said 1,200 quid at the very start of the year, so it was about
fine.
8 months ago.
Oh, fine. Okay. Well, yeah, I've had to increase that because
Of
of the
course.
cost of this year.
Because it was coming.
But no, like it is the best example.
Yeah.
It is incredibly well maintained, but it's a
Old.
law of physics. Yeah, law of time. You
Yeah.
can't fight time. It's old. So yeah, with that kind of mileage and that kind of age, it is just going to get more and more expensive to run. So it will be my special occasion car so that it feels super special, so that it feels like something completely different to what else I'm driving. It is completely different to a GT3. So even though they've got manual transmissions, no concerns there. I mean, completely different experience in my mind, at least. So
No, there will be.
yeah. So yeah, the 360 will of course still be my baby, my joy, but it will just be used less frequently, and I don't think that's a bad thing. But it's not going to be a collector's item. I'm still going to be taking it on trips and going places and using it on sunny days like today. But I'm also excited to spend a lot of time in the GT3.
Yeah, well, your 360 is your forever car, isn't it? You have absolutely no intention of selling that. At some point, you will sell the GT3. It's not going to be a forever car, right?
At this point, we don't know, but yeah, I would assume. I mean, I'm not going into it thinking it's a forever car.
Yeah.
But 360 in the Drive the World year, I did about 10 miles in that
Do you get
car.
sentimental round cars? Like, I know you have the 360, but I get that that's your special car. But do you think, oh yeah, I'm going to keep this forever? Like, I really miss that car.
No. I miss moments with cars. So my original F-Type, I did so much with it. It was so important in my life as seen through glass that I reminisce about that car. Yeah. And I adore it. Would I have it back? No.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that sentimental. Just with the and you know what? If push really came to shove, if I was like, I've achieved a lot in my life and someone came along and offered me my dream challenge Stradale on the perfect occasion, would I swap the Modena? There's a tiny potential that I would. A tiny potential.
Well, that's your dream.
Which,
the 360. So, sorry, the
challenge Stradale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why would you not?
Exactly. If it all fell into place. But fundamentally, that's... And so, as sentimental as I am about my car, and as much as I want to keep it forever and I never plan on changing it, even that, if all the circumstances fell into place, I would consider moving on.
I always see cars as a memory, you see. So I don't get sentimental around cars, partly because of my job, but the nice cars that I have had down the years, I'm not unhappy to see them go, because most of the time I've done stuff in them and I've got the memory, which is the most important thing, because that's the whole point of owning a car and having the memory and the look back of what you've done in it. And when you flip that on a head, originally that was the good thing about Instagram, because if you have an Instagram account, you could look back on some of the things you've done. I mean, it's not like that now, but early Instagram, you would take a picture of your car and it would almost act like a photo album. You'd flick back through Instagram and you go, I remember that. And occasionally I do that now. Go back 3 or 4 years, some of the trips I've done in some of the cars, and it's nice, but it's just a shame that Instagram isn't what it is anymore for that reason.
Let's not talk about the death of Instagram.
The death.
They are slightly trying to reel it back in, but I still kind of hate that platform.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so that's 360 update for you. Andy Ralston, if Tony had to pick one with a gun to your head, resto-mod which one would it be as your weekend car? I don't think you know many.
Flipping hell, resto-mod. Singer. Is that a resto-mod?
Singer. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Is that because it's the only one you can think of?
No, not just because it's the only thing. Because it's based on a Porsche, and they probably do it the best. So
when I was in Germany, I went to Mechatronic, who resto-mod Pagodas, and they put more modern, not modern, but more modern V8s into Pagodas.
That'd be cool.
Update all the electronics and sort about the suspension. What I didn't know about Pagodas is, okay, and forgive me here, anyone who's mechanically or engineering minded, and so you might be able to help out, Tony.
Disclaimer.
The rear suspension on the Pagoda, independent. Essentially, if you lift the car on a jack or on a lift,
the wheels do that.
Yeah, they go like that.
Yeah.
Apparently, when you heavily brake, the same thing happens.
Really?
Yes, it's really bad, and that's why those cars are quite dangerous to drive at speed or in anger, because as the weight pushes forward, the rear axle is.
Oh.
So they do a lot of work to try and work a little bit on that to try and make the car a bit better to drive.
But back then in the 60s, that car, and it was probably revolutionary. They probably thought, well, they've hit the jackpot.
Fantastic. Yeah. But obviously now a bit dangerous.
Yeah, downright dangerous.
I always thought that would be the immediate car you'd choose as a classic, but you just think...
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't know they'd done that, but yeah, it was the Singer is probably something you can drive as well, right? That Merc is a real cruising, you wouldn't want to go fast in that car, that would just be a...
Waft along to the seaside.
Yeah.
I wanna experience that new Singer DLS. I've seen a few of them being delivered now.
No idea.
That's the lightweight one that they've been showing good with for the last few years.
Okay.
Unbelievable thing. Eamon McGrath asked Tony's thoughts on the SF90, but I imagine he asked that before the episode that we did, dedicated to that. Francesco Mezzuioso. Sorry, Francesco, I just butchered your surname.
Just Francesco.
Francesco, mate. Do you see Leclerc ever going away from Ferrari, especially after this year of infinite chaos? And if so, where do you think he'll go? I'm really struggling to answer those questions, especially the second one. Did we ever think Vettel would leave Red Bull? Did we ever think Hamilton would leave McLaren? I for sure, I think Leclerc could leave Ferrari. It would feel a bit surprising and a bit shocking.
We spoke about this a little bit briefly yesterday.
At the live event.
And I think you sort of summed it up fairly well, that Leclerc's only 2 years into Ferrari. Is he 2 years into Ferrari?
3 years.
Yeah, okay. So he's on his third year now, right? So he's done 2 years. He's on his third. He's now got a competitive car. So take the first 2 years away. He's now got a competitive car, arguably the fastest car. And quite rightly, you pointed out that Max used to make them mistakes 2 or 3 years ago. And Leclerc just needs to recalibrate and retune himself, that he's got to go to another level to be like essentially Max and Lewis. Once he gets to that level, I mean, he could dominate with Max, but it's just whether he can get to that next level, because there obviously is another level that Max and Lewis operate in. Can Leclerc jump to that, and the rest of the drivers? But
the thing, I think, and the Francesco's question here, which is also the other side of the argument with Leclerc in this season, is Ferrari, who are just in absolutely no place to win a championship right now. They are not only falling apart reliability-wise, but strategy-wise. I mean, it's an ongoing meme. I mean, Twitter, it's just a disaster. And so could we see a place where if Leclerc irons out his mistakes, is able to be more consistent? And to be fair, he has made 2 fairly huge mistakes, big mistakes. But if the car had been more reliable and Ferrari hadn't had such strategic blunders, he probably would be, if not leading the championship, he'd be right there.
Yeah.
Because people have done those calculations, and they say, if you put his mistakes aside and Ferrari's reliability and strategic blunders weren't there, he'd be leading the championship. So could he get so frustrated with Ferrari, he goes, right, jump and ship? I think potentially. I think never say never in F1. Like, if you're someone who wants to win a championship, you'll go where the fastest car is. Doesn't matter where your heart is.
It's not just that either. In general, mate, the best drivers get the best cars.
No,
in general, right?
Yeah, but the point being, would he choose to leave Ferrari? Like Ferrari, one of the most iconic teams, the team that he's dreamed of driving for, who are giving him a race-winning car able to win a race. It's not like he's sitting there going, oh, the cream has got to rise to the top. Like he's not driving in an Alpha Tauri. He's going to be choosing to leave Ferrari.
Yeah, but where does he go then?
Well, theoretically, to a more competitive car. It's like Hamilton leaving McLaren to go to Mercedes. At the time, everyone said this is a complete disaster.
Yeah, it was a terrible
You're moving
car.
backwards. You're going to the midfield of the grid, but obviously worked its way through. So it's not about, oh, well, he's one of the quickest drivers, so he's going to end up in the quickest team. He's already in the quickest team.
Yeah.
So that's the question. Could we imagine him leaving? I think yes, for sure.
But he's actually not in the quickest team, is he? Red Bull, because they're winning the constructors and the championship.
But I think that's Ferrari's blunder. I think on a pace deficit, I think Ferrari have the faster car. If you look at pole positions,
over one lap or over a race pace.
But even on race pace, apart from that spat of Grand Prix where Verstappen on straight line speed, I think it was three, maybe 4 races where he just ran away
10
with
kilometres faster.
Exactly. Once Ferrari had addressed that, Ferrari, I think, have had... I mean, France, for example, that was Leclerc's race to lose and he lost it.
It was, yeah.
And again, what did we just... where were we just now? Budapest? Where did this... Yeah, Budapest.
Yeah.
Leclerc was faster and then
they
blundered it on the tyres. So I do think they've got the faster race car.
Yeah.
I think they're just absolutely screwing it up.
Yeah, okay.
Matt Oliver, where's the GT4 RS hype train disappeared to? Seems to be another car that goes so hype before release and it's underwhelming after release.
Well, like the Emira.
Well, I'm really with you on this, Matt. I think that the 4RS is one of those cars that every single journalist said it's the best driving car. It's the best Porsche driver's car ever. This is maybe the best Porsche ever. I'm obsessed. This is incredible. But fundamentally, as we've spoken about before, it's not a 911.
No.
That's the biggest problem with the 4RS.
I think that is as well.
It's not a 911.
Yeah. Because I like the GT4 RS. I've seen a couple in person and I like the idea of it. It's a mid-engine car. It's good power. It would suit me down to the ground. But if I had the two side by side, I'd still buy a GT3.
And it's harder to get than a GT3.
Yeah.
So I think there's not a lot of hype because not a lot of people have got them coming.
Yeah.
And it's like a Pista versus an 812 Competizione or a TDF, whatever. The big daddy cars will always be the big daddy cars. And in the Porsche lineup, a 911 RS product, is always going to get more, I think, appreciation and hype than the mid-engine entry stuff. Like, as cool as that car is, it's just falling a bit flat. But, every journalist, like with the Alpine A110, not with the Emira. I think the Emira
they slagged that off a bit more, didn't
they? As we've known, the people. I think I'm finally going to get behind the wheel of it. I hope in a month or so. So anyway, so 4RS might go down that same path, but I don't think it will because I think once people start owning them and driving them, everyone will say it's incredible.
Not known if any of them gone for sale or been sold yet. So
I literally looked to see if any have been flipped. Not one listed on the market.
No,
yet.
I haven't heard or seen or.
Let's see if there's any in Europe. Keep checking, mate.
All the big dealers that would normally get them, I know them and speak to them and they haven't been offered one, or so maybe Porsche have been really good at, or the dealers have actually been really good at giving them to people that aren't going to flip them, or who knows, maybe there's just not many in the country yet. I'm pretty sure there's no more than a handful of GT4 RSs been delivered in the country yet.
Very small numbers. So here we go. In Europe, there's a handful, 260,000 euros, 260,000 euros. There's two and they're both listed at 260,000 euros, not physical cars.
It's too much money.
Of course.
Yeah.
Justin Bridden. Have you had PPF or ceramic coating applied to your F-Type? Also, have you considered organising a behind-the-glass road trip? Nothing applied to the F-Type yet. I want to get it fully detailed. Probably wouldn't go PPF. Ceramic coating's enough for me. I've spoken quite a lot how I'm not a massive fan of PPF. It's done a good job on the 360 this year, but I wouldn't tend to get it done usually. And behind-the-glass road trip, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if you're asking whether Tony and I are going to go on a road trip or like getting you guys involved in a road trip, but we could probably discuss briefly both.
Yeah.
So yes, we obviously did the Mille. We also did our adventure through the Netherlands.
Yeah.
But we are looking at right now a trip to California.
Yeah.
So come,
really
I think
cool.
November time, we're trying to work around the LA Auto Show. So our US listeners, please get in touch if you're West Coast based and you've got some suggestions or some ideas or some filming opportunities for Tony and I. We're going to be trying to line up a load of test drives and some Tony's never been to California.
No.
So I want to take on some canyon roads. We're also going to be doing some work at the auto show and exclusive. We may and we hope to do our first international Behind the Glass live.
And if you're going to do it, you might as well do it. Go big and go America.
Oh my God, go America!
Go big.
We'll have some donuts. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. But that will probably be our next Behind the Glass trip, I think. And are we ever going to do road trips with you guys? We do talk about this every now and again.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
Could we expand the lives to have a bit of a drive and stuff like that? But it's a lot because there's lots of you.
Yeah.
And we just want to make sure that if we ever did something like that, we would do it very properly, safely, enjoyably. Everyone has a good time. There's not 150 cars trying to get up the A3 or something like that. So well, stay tuned. It's something we...
We've definitely spoke about it for sure.
Simon Kidd, I always find Tony's insights to market conditions really interesting. So maybe an update on lead times, secondhand prices, etc. But I'd be really interested to see if there's a difference between sports, prestige, and prestige cars, etc., and ordinary cars. Okay, so I think he's basically just saying like what's going on with the car market.
Everything's gone down, basically. There's still a wait for new cars.
So used car prices are going down?
Have been for 7 months, mate.
Okay, so used car prices have gone down.
Yeah.
Wait times, are they reducing on new cars?
New cars. Yeah. Well, there is still big waits for lots of different makes of cars, but that doesn't matter because there's lots of used cars on the market. So, you know, if you know, people tell me, people offer me cars and they'll say, I've got a new Golf R, there's an 18-month wait for them. If there's 300 used ones on the market, I mean, yours makes 301. I mean, you know, it just goes in with the rest of them. So it's all supply and demand. We started to see it come off back end of last year, September, October. I think I mentioned to you that it was starting to come off. And then definitely into the new year. There will be exceptions, as there always is. There'll be pockets of cars that have been okay and still okay. But in general, the market's come right back off the last 7 or 8 months. Do you find there's any difference in, as Simon's asking, different pockets of the market? So I think, super high-end sports stuff like Pistas, 765 LTs, GT3s, whatever, they're still holding? Yeah, so they, from what I know, is they've been okay. But again, sometimes some stuff stay the same. I can give you a really good example. The AMG Black Series, they're still around the same sort of money listed, but they're not selling. So that means that's not what they're worth. Do you know what I mean? Because the same ones are still around. And even if they come off, it doesn't mean they're sold. It just means they could be on sale or return and the owners would have had them back because they can't sell them. They can't have their 100 grand profit. And, some cars, like some 911s, and there's lots of others as well, but using 911 as an example, because they got, a used car ended up becoming over list. They started to fetch so much money. Everyone sold their cars and put the cars on the market. So all that does is bring the prices down. So there's lots of cars on the market now and the demand's gone. Yeah. So it's sort of gone back to pre-COVID now, where market's still strong, but not insane. It's just okay. It's just okay that if you think you're sitting on a car now and it's still going up every month, you're about 8 or 9 months late. Okay, because there was that insane period where we saw literally diesel Golfs being sold at list. After 6,000 miles. Yeah, but that's long gone. Long gone. Okay. Hope that doesn't scare you too much, Simon. Or anyone else. Ian Lyons. Hey, hope you're both well. We are, Ian. Thanks for asking. Thank you. Non-car related, but more about owning your own business. How do you keep a balance between driving your business forward and time to switch off? Also for Sam, how does this impact your creativity? I'm really enjoying the content you produce for the main channel, but it must be hard to carve out time to plan to be creative. Well, we've spoken about this quite a bit in the last few weeks with our planned time off from the podcast. I'll throw it to you first, Tony, because I think we're both quite similar, but how do you manage, I guess, work-life balance, really? I don't switch off, basically. There's always something going around in my head. done whatever it is what it is. I never switch off. Even when I'm on holiday, I don't switch off, and I'm still at work.
But
But
does that lead to a burnout? Does that lead to times where you're feeling a bit exhausted and a bit sort of over work? And like, what happens when you're with your kid, and what happens when you're at dinner with your family and things like that? Like, are there times when you're a bit like, I wish I could switch off?
I don't wish I can switch off. It's the life I chose. It's what I chose to do. I manage it. I obviously understand, and I've trained myself that I have a bit in my brain that I have to spend time with Molly and my daughter, and there's a couple of things that I do personally in my life that does enable me to relax and switch off. Playing football is one. Oddly, going to spas. We spoke about this. It's a spa's a really odd one, because even when I go on holiday, I can't completely switch off. But when I'm in a spa and my phone's on the side, there's just something inside of me that goes, well, that's it now. I'm in this pool, or I'm just laying on the bed. It's like my relaxed place. But it's rare, mate. It's the life I chose. It is what it is.
But I think actually it's very important, and you maybe sometimes have a bit of an old school mentality, but also the fact that, heck, mate, like you've got to keep going because of the way that you're built and who you are.
Yeah,
you never want to stop because of the motivation to never go backwards.
No, yeah.
So that is inbuilt in you. But I think it is important for everyone to also find ways, whatever small ways, as you say, spa or football, whatever, just to every now and again take your mind off things without, losing track.
And some people can
taking your eye off
switch
the ball.
Some people can, and they're very, very good at it.
Yeah.
Some really, really good businessmen, and I don't put myself in that category at all. But someone that's really, really done. They're really good at on and off, and they have routines. When you speak to and read some of the stuff that these Elon Musk and stuff, he has a real routine in the morning of, I couldn't do it personally, it wouldn't suit me, but he has a real routine of not looking at his phone, and he goes for a run, and he eats a certain breakfast.
Well, it's thinking time. And I think, Ian's hit the nail on the head. Sorry to interrupt, but I think Ian's hit the nail on the head with just that. And on my side of the business, I guess it's a bit more creative. And that's why I need to find ways to reset or take time, because, when you're doing lots of other things, it's really hard to be creative. You just fall into a rut of doing the same things over and over and again. And because you do so much and you have many things going on, I think sometimes people just assume that you're running a dealership, but you're a businessman with fingers in many pies. But also doing lots of things that I think you maybe switch off from Gravelwood by focusing on something else. Do you know what I mean? Like in a weird way, do you see what I'm saying? Where sometimes I see that your mind for a week or a couple of weeks will be a little bit more focused on a different project. Yeah. And then you'll go back, and I think maybe you don't realize you're doing it, but that gives you a break from the dealership every single day.
Maybe.
So you're always thinking on stuff. But I noticed that in you, that yes, you are always go.
Yeah.
But if you're focused on one thing or doing one thing, then creatively, it's very hard to step back and think, right, how do I push this forward? What can I do next? What can I do that's going to move this forward over the next 3, 5, 10 years? Yeah. If you're just in it every single day. Yeah. Sometimes you need to sort of step away. Or at least I find I need to.
You know, one thing I'm really bad at, and this happens quite a lot, and some of you would even probably pick up to it in the podcast, is when I'm talking, sometimes I could be talking and then suddenly I'll pause or I'll start to talk slow. That's because something's popped up in my head to do with work, and I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm trying to talk at the same time. And as most of you know, men are no good at multitasking, but that happens all the while, mate. That I can be literally having a conversation with someone, and I'll shut them out. I can hear them, but I'll shut them out. It's really weird because something's popped into my head, work related, that in my head I've got to deal with. And then I can go back to talking to that person. But I do it mid-flight, and I do it on this podcast. You'll see. You'll sometimes I just like...
People will pick up on it more now that you've mentioned it. But I think inherently, Ian, that is built into Tony. I think that's quite a hard thing to train yourself to do, because his question is, how do you keep a work-life balance? And from what you've said, you don't. You just have a work.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a work-life balance.
But you do as well, mate. You're a workaholic as well, you know, and I think if you're going to achieve something in your life, you have to have that. That has to be installed in you. You have to like what you're doing, because the age-old saying is, you know, if you find something you enjoy to do, and you'll never work another day in your life. And I get up every morning and I'm an early bird, and I get up and I work straight away before I even leave my house. I'm working, I'm doing something, you know, related to work. But I enjoy it.
Yeah,
I love it.
It doesn't feel like, someone asked me that at the live yesterday. Said, "Oh, you know, how do you manage all this stuff?" I was like, because as you said, I wake up and I'm not going, "Oh God, I've got to send that email. I've got to import that footage. I've got to edit this. I've got to plan that next." I'm like, sick, right?
Yeah.
You know, there's a motivation level. So
yeah,
it's a good question, Ian. I get where you're trying to come from, and I think, for sure, I'm definitely. I definitely push myself to step back creatively every now and again, take time to let the creative juices refresh, because I know how to make a scene through glass video. I could do it in an hour. I can make it.
With your eyes shut.
With my eyes shut. Like I can make it, but I don't creatively enjoy that. And creatively, I want to push myself forward, and I want to be inspired, and I want to be motivated. So I don't enjoy a sort of back to basics, how to make a scene through glass video. And the way to be inspired and think up new video avenues and how to push this podcast forward and how to reinvent the channel, I have to step back for a second and just, you know, not pick up the camera. Because if I pick up the camera when I'm in that kind of rut, I just make the most generic video, and then I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's a load of cram. So creatively, I need more time, but work life otherwise. Anyway, Billy Perkis. Hi guys, I've got $7,500 as a budget to spend on a fun car for the summer. I don't mind what it is. I'm just looking for maximum driving enjoyment. We'll probably sell it again. I mean, not a clue. I'm going to say MX-5. Yeah.
No, perfect.
MX-5.
It's absolutely perfect
for the summer.
Car.
Like done.
Yeah.
7.5.
Or a little hot hatch.
I just wouldn't know what's
little Fiesta hot hatch or something like that. Yeah. Anything, little hot hatch or a little MX-5. Perfect.
Akil, who's been to quite a few of our live events with his beautiful black 981 GTS. He's saying he's potentially looking to...
not him again.
Yeah.
I feel like we're related. I see him so much.
Potentially moving up from the Cayman. Budget around 100k. What would you get out of these? 991.1 GT3, 991.1 Turbo S, 570S McLaren, a Ferrari 430 on AMG GTR.
AMG GTR without a shadow of a doubt.
I would say GTR, or I think the 991 Turbo S is a good car. Maybe not exciting enough for him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get the 570S, not because I'm a McLaren hater, but just because I think you'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
I think you'd be potentially disappointed.
I think that Merc for $100,000 for what it does, for what it gives you, I can't really think Audi R8 possibly, but again, the Merc's got more character. I think that's what for $100,000. I really can't think of much better on the market than one of them. I think they're great.
I don't like that GTR very much.
No, I know, but you used to. You just gone off it.
I don't think I ever really did, mate.
Didn't you?
I don't think I ever really did. No, it's never really. I don't like how bloody huge it is inside. You feel like you're sitting about 3 football fields away from your passenger.
Yeah, but you get used to it, mate. I mean, you know,
you're
it's
right on the rear axle.
You are, yeah. But honestly, within 10 or 15 minutes, I think it's a great car because it does it's like a GT car. You can take it on track. Not for very long, but you can. You know, you can. It looks cool. It does look really good, mate. It's got great road presence. Sounds all right.
I don't like all the button layouts, the buttons, everything's fiddly.
Yeah, but that was, it was 2017, 2018, and we're all like that then. Look at McCann.
I'd get a Vantage.
Oh, no.
I'd get a new shape Vantage.
Would you?
Yeah. I think 100k sports car.
No.
I don't really fit in the R8 that well, otherwise I would have chosen the R8. But
yeah.
Or the NSX.
I think... bit dull, isn't it?
I think the GTR's a bit dull. Anyway, Kev Arkless would love to hear Tony's opinion on the current car market. We've just talked about that, really, what's still hot and what's cooled off. So yeah, Kev, go back. Go back. James Fleming, Tony really liked the Roma and was talking about getting one. Did he ever put an order in?
Oh, well, I'm going to get one for the winter, actually.
Oh, are you?
No, I am, yeah. I'm going to get a used one, yeah. I'm going to drive it for the winter.
Lad.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be so interested to hear how you get on.
Yeah.
Because, I want to know what it's like to live with a Roma. I always loved it, and we had that great experience in south of France. But, well done, mate. Finally.
I really want to... compare it to the Turbo S because it's very similar money.
Sure.
They're very similar in terms of performance. Okay, you can argue that a Turbo S, obviously to 60 because it's four-wheel drive is faster.
I was going to say that's the thing, four-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive.
Yeah,
right?
that would be practicality. There's probably not a great deal in it because it's got a big boot, the Roma, whereas the Turbo S has got a fairly sized front boot. Tech.
It's probably between Turbo S, Roma, and Bentley Continental GT. Those three are probably quite good rivals, right?
Yeah, they are. They all do things a bit similar. I just think probably out the three, the Turbo S would do everything a little bit better. Like as an all-round package, like maybe to cruise as a GT car, the Bentley would be better.
Yeah.
To attack a canyon road, the Roma would probably be the best. Closely followed by a Turbo S, by the way, because dynamically it's very good, the Turbo S. But the Turbo S would easily do both very good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just not sure it's got the style and the elegance of the other two.
I mean, it's the most money as well. On the used market, it's the most money out that, you'd get a Bentley and a Roma for, if not the same money, a bit cheaper than a Turbo S, which blows my mind because them two brands as brands are more exclusive than Porsche.
Yeah, no, it's mad to see the demand for that new Turbo S is high, but
it's come off though.
I can't wait. When do you think you're going to pick that up?
Well, I'm not 100% sure because I've got to find one yet, but my Ferrari dealer are actively looking now.
Oh, that's so exciting.
I might even have it for the next live show.
Get out of town.
Maybe, yeah, but I'm being very specific on colour and spec. So I want a dark colour car. So we'll see, mate.
Dark brown?
No. No chance.
Luke Camfield. Hi, Sam and Tony. Hope you're both well. Can you offer any advice on wrapping a car? Things to look out for, expected costs?
Yeah, don't do it.
No, I wouldn't say don't do it. I think it'd be great. The Wrapping Sanctuary just did the X3, an amazing job they did. They're super nice guys based down south coast, so I highly recommend them. Lots of other companies out there all over the UK. Costs, I would say probably you're looking at these days probably
depends
a couple
on
of
the
grand.
car, mate.
I think probably a couple of grand is probably these days a fairly good estimate. I mean, depends, on the car, so the size of the car, how much material they need, the type of material you're going to use. Different materials are more expensive. Inositech is what I just used on the X3 is very good, very paint-like. But I would say for most cars, £2 is a kind of good starting point. I
would say that would be a mid-range normal car, £2,000, mate. I mean, you wouldn't.
Yeah, like a sports coupe.
I don't think you'd wrap a supercar or an SUV for £2,000.
Really?
No, I don't think so. Not retail. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, I'm trying to think. It's been a while. So obviously, Wrap Sanctuary just did my X3. Dub Customs were the last people that really. Oh, and Yanni did some stuff for me as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I mean, go find out. Reach out to you. Okay, let's say £2,500, £3,000.
Get some quotes.
Get some quotes.
What we're saying, because
things to look out for. No, I mean, until you've got the car back, it's hard to know. Get asked to see other cars.
There are good and bad. Like there's good rappers and there's bad rappers. Like in any business, there's good YouTubers
temporary.
And bad YouTubers.
Yeah, very much so.
Look at us two.
Not a clue what but yeah, I mean, it's a temporary thing. Don't expect it to be like paint. You might have some defects there. You might have little bubbles. You might have but like it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Wrapping a car.
Yeah.
If you actually want to change the colour of a car, then save up some money and go repaint it. Peter Hopkins, if you ever had the money, would you start up your own racing team? No.
I would love to do some racing.
Would you start your own racing team? I wouldn't start my racing team
because you've got to be really wealthy to do that. And I honestly just think racing is a waste of money in general.
But if you had the money, it's not what I would do. I'd go and buy a Formula 1 car from Ferrari and do Corsa Cliente or something.
What are you doing it for as well? Like, unless you're going to make... Don't forget, most people that have got... Most race teams, by the way, are funded. So when you look at, like, Lance Stroll, for instance, he's a very clever businessman. That won't be all his money. It'll be from shareholders and stuff like that. So he won't be actually using his own money. And that's the real way to do it, really. Go racing with someone else's money and convince someone with sponsors and stuff like that. But, yeah, putting your own money in, I mean, flipping hell.
Most of the Red Bull F1 team, I believe, or I've been told, is owned by the Red Bull can company, the company that make the cans for Red Bull.
That's where the money is.
That's where the money is, in the cans.
The cans.
So yeah, I wouldn't start a racing team, but I agree with you. I'd like to do some racing.
Yeah, me too.
Toby, what got you into cars? For me, it was F1 and my mum.
What got me into cars? I think I just do it when I come out.
Come out of what? The closet?
Come out my mum.
Oh.
I think from when I just always liked cars. Since I was a little boy, I used to push them on the floor when I was 2 or 3. Yeah, make noises.
Yeah,
to get the saucepan and pretend to drive, sit on my bed.
It's like cars.
And then just always liked them, yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? It's hard to sort of know why.
Yeah, because I think it's from such a young age, I think.
Just always like them.
Yeah.
Daniel Holiday, with escalating fuel costs, would you consider an EV as a daily run around? Daniel, you've launched that in there as a little, just a fun bomb to drop into midway through the Q&A. Now, should I talk about this?
Say it again.
He's just asking if we'd have an EV as a run around because of the fuel costs. Well, I mean, the obvious answer is no. No. But can I tease something that we're going to be doing? Yes! Season 6 teaser for you.
We or me?
We are getting into bed with, or we're going to go deep into a heavily advanced, right up there, already using synthetic fuel company.
Yes,
it's very good. Amazing. I just had this call this morning. I'm so excited about
that's what I don't know about it.
Yeah. So
very good.
But jokes aside, Daniel, for 2 seconds, I would have got an iX3 if I thought if I was more comfortable with Vicky charging and that infrastructure. I didn't want, because it's the car that she uses most, and she doesn't do that many miles, but she will go down and see my parents every now and again.
Yeah.
She'll go and see, she's got friends all over the UK. I didn't want the thought of her
flapping,
stuck at the M40 not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
Like, look, that's harsh on her.
It is a good little car,
not saying that she's not, by the way. Yeah, and the iX3, I think I keep seeing iX3.
Yeah.
But anyway, it made more sense at this point.
Yeah.
Liam Concannon, what's the best supercar ever made or existed? I mean, Liam, it's like asking who's your favourite parent. I mean, like, La Ferrari. No, Chiron.
Enzo.
Okay. Josh Kemp on cars. Thoughts on Overland / Safari spec cars? What's your thought? Because are we getting this Huracan, what's it called? Saranta, whatever. The 911, I think they're going to call it the 911 Dakar is coming, the raised height 911. What else have we seen? That Morgan, that off-roading Morgan thing.
I mean, what is all that about?
What are your thoughts? Do you think they're a joke?
Yeah, I mean, it's just another way for a manufacturer to get some money out of it. They've understood. Basically, what they've seen is they've seen a little trend of people modding their cars, jacking them up, and then they thought, well, actually, there could be a call for this. Let's make some. We'll
make 150 units. We'll sell them all out.
Yeah, sell them out.
I'm so with you. I think it's so I mean, I don't think it's pointless. I think it's cool that it's being done, but they should be one-offs. They should be little fun concepts. I think that's what the Morgan was, or maybe they are going to build 10 of those Morgans. I can't remember. But like, it should be like remember when manufacturers used to do almost like a concept car, but a more of a realized concept car of like, this is what we could do if the hands were tied. What's it called? The leashes were taken off.
Yeah.
This is a fun engineering thing that comes out of car shows. Like, that'd be cool. Who
like
needs
an LFA?
Why are you... No, mate, because that was the proper production run. That was a proper car. What are you on about?
Yeah, but we'll still look at what we can do.
Yes, amazing engineering feat.
Like Veyron when it come out.
For sure, just to show the capabilities of the company.
Yeah.
But I think, why are you buying a 992 Safari or Dakar? I'm going to say this, I'll probably buy one, but I mean, like, what are you really doing? Are you
what are you saying about yourself?
Do you not think it's the rise of the SUV market though? Because it's like the Taycan Cross Turismo. Are you actually off-roading in a Taycan?
No.
Am I actually off-roading in my X3? Definitely not.
You'll get over a rock and you've got to charge it.
So I guess it's just the looks and...
Yeah.
Chris Brown.
Oh, the singer.
Maybe. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Would be very cool.
What's up, Chris?
Get him on.
Question me the live events. I was sent a Patreon thing to display... Oh, this is a bit specific, Chris. Chris, I'll come back to you individually because that's not one that applies
it's too much.
Yeah. Frazier, what automotive advancement innovation are you most excited about in the next 5 years or so, not including battery EVs, because we definitely know your opinion there. Synthetic fuels.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Save the engine, hashtag.
I'll recorrect you. Hashtag save the engine. Robin Caper, will Alonso drive the whole grid before he retires? I mean, he could just jump between teams, couldn't he? Yeah. Laurie Mackerel, agree with Kev, market update. So we should have made more fuss of the market update because everyone's been asking. Laurie had a specific question about 992s. Is the gap between list and resale price really sustainable for much longer? GTS up at 170k with a list of 120. And rising interest rates amidst the cost of living crisis, how this impact things. Well, I guess it's going to make finance from dealers, dealer PCPs more expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, the interest rates have got, it's not just that, it's your mortgage, it's any borrowing, credit cards, it's the whole shebang. Anything you get on credit is going to be more expensive. But
the UK car market has been so heavily finance driven over the last 5 or 6 years.
Always will be.
PCPs, etc. So do you think with the increase in interest rates making PCPs and things like that more expensive, we're going to see a downturn in purchasing of new cars or cars through dealers?
There may be a bit of a downturn, but what will happen then is that they will subsidise it. The manufacturers will subsidise it. In turn, your car that you're in will go down even further, to which point it will still make sense for you to buy a new car.
Kieran, current market bargain cars.
That's an episode, that is.
Yeah. Actually, Kieran, thank you.
Thank you.
Season 6, coming soon.
Would you like a producer job?
I just did that 4GT video, which I've slagged off so many times on this podcast. But everyone went in on me for saying, could this be an investment car? Because people are like, enthusiasts shouldn't invest in cars. But let's all be realistic. It happens.
Well, that's...
lots of enthusiasts invest in cars.
That's what they do, yeah.
And also lots of other people invest in cars. Anyway, I'm what's it called?
Rambling.
Yes. Andrew Craig, I saw you mention the panoramic sunroof in your F-Type in the video at the weekend, and I know Tony recommended the sunroof in your previous X3, which you didn't take him up on. I actually did.
I still sold it though.
My new X3 does have a sunroof.
Yeah.
Are there any other add-on specs that you consider must-haves?
I don't really think that a panoramic roof is a must-have on a Jag.
Oh, mate, I disagree. And
from a sale point of view, I'm thinking, because I've sold them without roofs before and I've sold them with roofs, where I think it's an absolute must, and coming from experience, is SUVs. SUVs, in my opinion, provided it's one of the biggest market cars that I sell, they have to have a panoramic roof.
Okay, so we're coming at it from two very different angles, as always. You're coming at it from a resale point of view, from being able to get out of the car and what people are looking for to buy on the used market.
Yeah.
I'm getting it from personal experience, because the reason I love the F-Type pan roof is you sit back behind the start of the pan roof. So when you open it up, you really get a lot of that pan roof in your eye line, so you can actually see up and out of the car. So it gives you this feeling that you're in a convertible.
Do you look up there when you drive?
No, but when I'm driving like this, it's in the periphery, isn't it? Your eyesight is not a letterbox. You don't look like you're looking through a sort of screen. You have what's called peripheral vision. Right. And so I'm imagining it now, but I don't know
why you drive so slow, because you're looking all over the place.
In the F-Type, as you're looking forward down the road, your peripheral vision, the pan roof starts here, so you get a lot of that coming in from above you. Sun, lights, trees, whatever. You get a lot of, you can take it all in. So you feel like you're really experiencing a lot more.
Right.
In every single SUV I've driven with a pan roof, when you're in the driver's seat and you have the pan roof open, you would have absolutely no idea. I have never once sat in an SUV with a pan roof and had it open or closed, and from my driver's seat known whether it's open or closed.
Okay. But you do know that people normally have panoramic roofs, one for light, to let light in, and two, to open it to get air. They don't care about seeing out of it.
So many pan roofs are fixed.
They are, yeah, but that's for light.
Sure.
But it's an option. The reason why they're fixed pan roofs, because it's another excuse for a manufacturer to say, for an extra £1,500, you can have it open.
For sure.
Yeah.
A great way to scam people.
Yeah.
But my point being, I think it's become one of those things, and I'm going to blame you here for it.
Right.
Where people say, you've got to have a pan roof.
From my point of view, you do.
But of course, that's what I'm saying. But you're the problem.
Thank you.
Because I've got the pan roof on my X3 now.
Yeah.
and I didn't have it on the old X3.
Yeah.
Two things. In this heat wave, I have to keep it closed because otherwise the car cooks.
Yeah.
And secondly, when I'm driving, I could not tell the difference between having the pan roof open or closed.
Okay.
And it makes no difference to my life. The only time I notice it is when I open the door to get in. I go, ooh, what a nice light cabin when I'm stepping inside. Or if I'm in the passenger seat or the back seat.
But do you ever have it open?
Yes.
No.
Like physically open, yes.
Physically
Yes.
open. Right.
Yes.
And that's nice for you?
No, it makes it. I prefer the side windows because when I have it open, it goes on the motorways and stuff.
Right. But so
Or
was
high
your side
speed.
window as well?
No, if you put both side windows down, it doesn't.
You'll get buffed in.
No, it doesn't buff it with the side windows.
No?
No.
Huh?
But the top. So I like it.
How we spent 4 minutes on something.
No, because it annoys me because I'm blaming you. Actually. Because as I say, I think dealers put this pressure on. Yo, you've got to have the pan roof in an SUV.
Well, because
and my dad was the same. I did the same thing with my dad. I said, you've got to get the pan roof. Get the pan roof. And he said, I don't. And my mum's too. They're like, I don't understand what. Like, why? I don't notice it. In the driver's seat, I never noticed this pan roof.
all right, then we'll order it without next time. And then when you ring up the dealer and say, will you buy my car? And the dealer says, has it got panoramic roof? And they say no. And the dealer says, I don't want to buy it.
Well, there's your problem. It's you guys. You're the problem. You're the issue. Us customers. It's not such a big deal. But
where do we buy and sell the cars to and from?
Because you're saying to the customers that call you up, oh, you should get a car with a pan roof though, because when you want to come to sell it, you're going to need a pan roof.
I don't.
You keep spinning it around. I
don't do that. That's the manufacturers that do that. But from my point of view, I don't build the cars, mate, by the way.
No, I know.
But from my point of view, from a sale point of view, as a dealer, on an SUV particularly, the two big things that people ask me, has it got a panoramic roof and has it got Apple CarPlay? They are the two real big things from my point of view. So from an SUV point of view, particularly, if it hasn't got a pan roof, we don't buy it as a dealer because it's the first thing they ask.
Because they've been brainwashed by people like you.
No, they haven't been brainwashed by me because I haven't supplied them the car new. They've been brainwashed by the manufacturer. Now, whether that's money incentivized or actually it's the right thing to say or do, from my point of view, when I buy something that's got stock, my own money that I've worked hard for, I want something that I'm going to be able to sell. Now, if something's sold without a pan roof and 17-inch wheels, that's what I would want because that's what I want to sell. But unfortunately, they have to have big wheels, often black. They have to have Apple CarPlay and they have to have a sunroof. That's it.
Well, you did very well because you are very talented at selling my car without a sunroof. So that does buck the trend. But I'm just saying that people's mentality, of course, has it got a pan roof, is because this mass consensus that SUVs must have pan roofs. And it's inbuilt in all of us and not just from the manufacturer, because you just proven the point. You wouldn't take a car without a pan roof. And that's spread. So people go, oh, I've got to have a pan roof car because when I come to sell it, it's going to have a pan roof. But actually, as a customer experience, my experience that the F-Type pan roof is the only one that I've actually seen a benefit from, that I've actually, as a driver, I've actually enjoyed and noticed.
Yeah.
Personally. So
I'd recommend a roof on a 911 or something like that as well.
Pan roof on a 911. Yeah, I don't think I've driven a pan roof.
I do have a very good sales technique though with a car that hasn't got a pan roof. I cannot tell you what it is, but I nail it every time, basically.
Clearly. Dean, if you and Tony had to build a sports car daily driver, what parts, engine would you take from other vehicles? Well, Dean, that's a big question. That's a very long-winded question.
That is a long-winded question. That's half an episode.
Yeah, I think, in general, it's fairly obvious. Like PDK gearbox from Porsche, as he suggested, yes. Seats, what are the best seats?
Ferrari engine.
Ferrari styling, Ferrari, but everything Ferrari in the PDK gearbox. Joking, I want manual.
Or just a Ferrari in general.
6-speed manual.
In a Ferrari?
Yeah.
No way.
Lewis Cook, Tony's next car, would he consider an 812 Superfast?
No. Don't think so.
James Williams, new merch. Yes, working hard behind the scenes on that. I really want to do some really... Did you look at your T-shirt from yesterday, by the way?
Beautiful.
We've got to give a big shout. I need to bring up...
He's a very nice man.
Very nice man. Made some lovely custom embroidered T-shirts.
Weren't they nice?
Absolutely amazing. I really wanted to give him a shout out and I forgot to bring the card in with me. I'll try and...
He was very nice, come and introduce himself as well. He's a very nice man. Thank you, by the way.
Essentially what we've done so far, especially for you patrons, done some products, and we've got a few more that we want to send out to you. I think got some updated keyrings coming and things like that. But I really, in general, want to come up with some really nice, sort of high quality, really like designed and stylish products. Obviously, these merch things are great as kind of just ways to like stamp your approval of behind the glass and stuff that we can offer you. But we also want to create some stuff that we would want to wear. Hopefully, you would want to wear. That's not always necessarily so like behind the glass. It's more like just actual nice stuff.
We need to get Balenciaga in.
Balenciaga is the tie-in that Tony's working on. So that takes time, unfortunately. It takes a lot more time than I realised, whittling down designs, supplies, things like that. We do some great work already with our supply for this Patreon stuff, and that's who we're trying to develop things with. So stay tuned. Long story short, stay tuned. Oliver Loughton, can the live events be streamed to patrons? That's interesting. I asked this before, and a lot of you said no.
Why don't you just come?
No, well,
Why don't you just come?
Maybe he lives in like Dubai or something like that.
Well,
don't say it.
We'll go to Dubai then, especially for you.
Yes, we'll go to Dubai. I thought you were going to say, well, you fly here. I asked previously about streaming episodes, and people said no, because people were like, oh, we've got too many other commitments. And I said, should we stream when we record? And people said no. If there's now a demand for streamed episodes on Patreon, then we can look into it. James Giant, Sam, can you convince Porsche to move your GT3 allocation to a touring? No, I did ask. Everyone that I knew, I asked.
The first thing that you asked.
It's not possible, but I've now more and more settled into the wing car, and
you ain't got a choice.
I'm more and more excited. Well, but also like the more I see the tourings, maybe I've convinced myself of this, the more I'm a little bit like, they're just too aggressive. I think.
What do you mean?
In the 992 variant, I think it's too much going on. In the 901, it's a beautiful looking car.
Okay.
992, it's got that big rear diffuser, massive rear diffuser. It's with the active deployable wing. I think on the 992 it looks a bit too big and garish, and the front with the painted front lip, I think, is not as good looking.
You're just looking for faults, mate. I think,
probably
because you haven't got one.
Last couple of questions then. Murray, could Sam have bought one of the last 6-cylinder diesels in his X3? Isn't that what I've got?
That's what you've got. But what they're saying is, do you think it'll be discontinued now?
Oh, sorry. Maybe.
Who cares? Sorry,
Murray. Sorry, mate. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah. I don't think it's going to push the value up. By the way. Put that on Auto Trader. One of the last.
Oh, please, not again.
And finally, Pete Madsen, thoughts on the upcoming Corvette Z06, which I think is the C8, the mid-engined. So I'm really keen for us to have a go in that when we go to America. Because it's obviously offered now.
Can we have one for a couple of days?
Yeah, it's obviously available now in Europe. I think we should go and check one of those out.
Well, I have seen some little reviews on it, and I've skirted past them. And they say it's proper car, mate.
They do say it's very good. Yeah. I have absolutely no desire for one. No. It does not. I preferred the old one, the front engine one.
Yeah.
This, I don't love the styling. It doesn't do a lot for me. But I think we should go and have a go in one.
Yeah.
So we'll try and get that lined up.
Yeah.
But anyway, the
Welsh.
That brings an end to today's episode and season 5. Behind the Glass. Wow, how have we got through that?
Another door closed.
Don't know what season 6 will bring, but hopefully lots of the same.
A new thing.
Intro.
Yeah.
Stop saying that because we haven't got time.
We're under pressure.
We're both away for the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But thank you so much to, of course, our patrons who are amazing, but all of you that have listened and supported season 5. It's been our biggest season yet.
Has it?
It's pushed us to number 1 in the UK automotive podcast charts.
Again.
Top 10 in the leisure podcast in the UK. But also we feature in all these charts all over the world in amazing places like Senegal and somewhere else amazing that I'm number. Oh, Bulgaria. We're number 1 automotive podcast. Which might be something to do with my wife, but strasti to the Bulgarian listeners. So we love doing this, and we cannot wait to come back.
No.
Season 6 to push this thing
and
further
we've got
forward.
Some cool stuff going on, haven't we?
Some great ideas, and we've been teasing lots of it. So for now, we'll end on a
happy holidays.
For us.
For everyone, mate.
Wish us a happy holiday. Yeah, but some people are working. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this series and this episode, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, give this video a thumbs up. If you want to follow Tony on his holidays, he's at Tony Gravel Car Sales on most
I might actually put a bit on my holidays.
I won't be posting on my holidays, but you can follow me for some other content which I've pre-recorded at Seen Through Glass, and we'll be back with you in a month, end of September. See you then. Bye-bye.
See ya.